The Krabby Chronicle? Oh my god. This episode of SpongeBob SquarePants sucks. Here are the reasons why I hate this episode in my opinion. The episode starts while at the Krusty Krab. Mr. Krabs finds out that there have been no new customers since he put a microscopic Krusty Krab ad in the Bikini Bottom Examiner newspaper. He goes out and finds out people are buying a different newspaper called the Bottom Feeder. A buyer informs Mr. Krabs that the Examiner is not interesting, and he also learns that not all of the stories in the newspaper are entirely truthful. Mr. Krabs looks at the newspaper and finds out that they charge 25 cents per word, much to his delight. Due to this, Mr. Krabs decides to open his own newspaper business. The next day, SpongeBob finds out that Mr. Krabs has given him new responsibilities, being the lead reporter for the Krabby Chronicle, and he is then given a badge and a camera. After finding no interesting stories, though there are many newsworthy stories although bad, like a thief robbing a bank, two muscular fishes smashing a car, and a giant monster coming out of the sewers, SpongeBob finds Patrick waiting for the bus. Deciding that this common event would make a juicy story, SpongeBob takes a picture of the scene, but Patrick insists that he is only watching the pole so that the next time it moves, he will be there to see it. SpongeBob still decides to do a story about it. At the Krusty Krab, Mr. Krabs is expecting huge profits for the Krabby Chronicle, only for Squidward to tell him nobody is buying the paper as the stories are too boring. Mr. Krabs is confused at first, but as soon as he looks at the Krabby Chronicle and sees what passes for news with SpongeBob, he's not at all surprised. Upset by this nonsense, he tells SpongeBob that his stories are not good enough, as nobody would be caught dead reading about such trivial things. He then turns the story of Patrick watching a pole into Patrick marrying a pole. SpongeBob says that it's lying. Mr. Krabs tells SpongeBob that it is not lying, it is instead giving the people something to laugh about, simply to trick SpongeBob into writing lies which worked initially. After this, SpongeBob writes several lies, act of slander, about people, which leads to Mrs. Puff losing her reputation as a good boating teacher, Larry being kicked out of the gym, the chum bucket being shut down by Health Inspector Yellowtail Andy, and Sandy's science trophies being confiscated by the Neptunian Science Committee. Realizing that trying to write stories isn't worth hurting people's feelings, SpongeBob tries to convince Mr. Krabs to stop, but Mr. Krabs does not listen and threatens to take his spatula away if he doesn't follow orders, especially since he started realizing he was being tricked into writing lies. That night, Mr. Krabs tells him to give him the wildest story ever, and he spends the entire night fabricating one which happens to be a true story. The next day, Mr. Krabs is shocked to discover an angry mob, led by Martha, in his restaurant. It turns out SpongeBob wrote a story about Mr. Krabs overworking him and revealing that he's the mastermind behind all the lies he forced him to write about, ruining people's lives in response, including Sandy, Plankton, Mrs. Puff, and Larry, as the Krabby Chronicle becomes exposed. Furious at their reputations being ruined and what Mr. Krabs put SpongeBob through, the angry mob decides to take their money back. Mr. Krabs breaks down crying in the kitchen, missing his money so much that he is not even upset with SpongeBob for exposing his deceit. Krabs pulls $1 out of his pocket, wondering how he will make more. He suddenly gets the idea to use the printer to print money, act of counterfeiting. He tells SpongeBob to get some scissors so he can start using his imagination with the printer. The episode ends with Patrick arriving with the pole, having married it for real after seeing the news, and orders a Krabby Patty for both of them as SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs stare at him and the pole in surprise, making it another true story. And that's why I hate this episode. I don't know who likes this episode. So I'm just going to leave it be. Who hates this episode? Andres the Roblox and SpongeBob fan 2K12. He made a rant on this episode. Screw the Krabby Chronicle. And screw a flea in her dome. The idiot box is 73 million times better than the Krabby Chronicle. End of rant.